Okay, good morning everybody, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our weekly webinar for our international nurses. Absolutely thrilled to be able to talk to you today and introduce some guest speakers, which will be really inspiring and uplifting presentation and conversation to support you nurses. What we're going to do this morning is Victoria will be doing a presentation around recruitment and any questions around the certificates of sponsorship, but also the whole process, so that you are able to gain an understanding in terms of the whole recruitment process of and deployment process of bringing you wonderful nurses over here to Devon. And then please do feel free to put any questions in the chat box. We do encourage you, as we do every week, to put in whatever questions, concerns, worries, issues, anything you want to ask. Absolutely fine. And then I'll hand over to Jesca and Lucia, who are from the ZiMNA, Zimbabwean Nurses Association in the UK. And they will be able to talk to you around what ZiMNA is able to do in terms of offering support to our nurses from overseas, from Zimbabwe. So similar to the Filipino Nurses Association, which we had last week. And Laura and I met with Lucia and Jesca yesterday, had such an uplifting, exciting conversation. And I know this is the start of some great future work together. So again, please do put some questions in the chat box for Jesca and Lucia after they've done their presentation. So if I can now hand over to Victoria.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much, Tracy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, etc. As you rightly said, and welcome to our current webinar. What we wanted to do was provide an introduction basically to who we are as an international recruitment hub team, so that you know who you're dealing with. It's always nice to have points of contact, and then, as Tracy said, we will go through the sort of key points for the recruitment process, and hopefully at the end we'll be able to answer any questions you may have, and we will be more than, we'll be very pleased to do that. Excuse me, clear my throat. So yes, international recruitment team. So who are we? So many of you will have had contact with Jack Smiddy, who you can see in this current picture there. There's Jack, or perhaps Vicky Brown, or perhaps myself. So I am Victoria Stone.
Victoria, so we can't see your presentation.
You can't see it. Oh dear. Let me just try again then. Oh, forgive us. Let's have a look.
The joys of technology.
The joys, yeah. Let me just try, and I'll try it in a different way. It may not be a beautiful slideshow, but at least you should be able to see the slides. Okay, how's that? Does that work?
That's great.
Okay.
Lovely.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. It does help if you can see who we're talking about, doesn't it? Okay, so I'll start again. So yeah, so in the pictures you can see there, Jack Smiddy, Vicky Brown, and there's myself on the end there, Victoria Stone. So many of you will have had contact with perhaps Jack, Vicky, or indeed myself. We work directly with each of the 4 main hospitals that are also called trusts sometimes, across Devon. So the 4 hospitals are Plymouth, Exeter, Torbay, and North Devon, as well as our mental health hospital team, which is called the Devon Partnership Trust, or DPT. So we are, I suppose, the link between you, our overseas nurses, and the hospitals as the new vacancies and positions arise that you will be deployed to. So, who are we? We're a relatively newly formed team. So we've been working as a hub since the beginning of this year, 2021. Jack has over 10 years experience in the field of international recruitment, and I'm sure Jack won't mind me saying that he is an IT whiz, so you have had none of that no screen sharing shenanigans if it had been Jack starting this morning, but no, he's really strong on IT, and very experienced in the field of recruitment. Vicky is our superb administrator, so she keeps everything going behind the scenes. She does all of the activities which underpin and support our team, such as arranging interviews and organising all of our, incoming email communication to our recruitment inbox, which is no mean feat, as it were. Vicky has over 10 years of experience of working within the NHS and is highly, highly knowledgeable. Myself, I have, in excess of 20 years, I hate to say it, but it's true, experience of working within the field of recruitment. That includes international recruitment, as well as sort of more on the resource management side for large organisations. And I joined the NHS earlier this year, so bringing that recruitment experience hopefully into the NHS organisation, of which we're also proud. Now, if I click onto the second one, here we are. So we aren't a large team, but these are the other members of our team. I thought it's worth introducing you to them, as you may well have some contact. So the other team members here are the lovely Tracy Collins, who many of you will have met. That's right, over this webinar or in other ways. So Tracy is our team's clinical lead. So a registered nurse with over 25 years, may I say that, Tracy? Over 25 years of experience of working in the NHS. So goodness, so much experience to bring to what we do on a daily basis. And that includes extensive international recruitment experience. So this is an absolute passion of Tracy's, and that shines through very strongly in all of her work. Then we have the lovely Carly Boyce, who is also a registered nurse. Now, she's actually on annual leave at the moment. I say that because I know a number of you have had one-to-one meetings with Carly. But Carly has just joined us from the North Devon Healthcare Trust. She is leading on, the pastoral support and training for our overseas nurses as you come on board to the NHS Devon. And as I say, many of you will have had the experience of one-to-one conversations with Carly, and she's there for that function to support you essentially and make sure you have a smooth transition. Laura, the lovely Laura Travers, has over 10 years of experience again working for the NHS. So you can see that once people join, they tend to stay. And she has recently joined us from the Torbay and South Devon Healthcare Trust, where she was the executive assistant to the medical director, or one of the medical directors. So Laura now provides project management and support to our team, and she is amazing at social media. So we're delighted to have her on board. Last but not least, Steve Shaw is our recruitment manager. Now, Steve has over 20 years of experience in the recruitment sector across different countries and working in all different areas of such as banking, finance, all across the board. He's got so much experience. He is a project management whiz. So if you need some graphs completing, then I'm sure Steve is your man. But yes, so that's our team. I hope it helps to have a feel and a flavour for who we are, put some pictures behind the names, as it were, and hopefully makes us feel a bit more real, brings us to life for you all. There we go. Now, on to the things I'm sure you're keen to either discuss or find out more about. So, international recruitment, how it works from, I suppose, a process point of view. So it's worth knowing that in terms of the hospitals that we recruit for, which is, as you know, we recruit across the NHS Devon, there are 4 hospitals that we are recruiting into. That's Plymouth, which is a city location, Exeter, also a city location, North Devon, which is more rural and has a lot of sort of community nursing involved, and Torbay and South Devon, which is our coastal area, very much a holiday area within Devon. And these hospitals, as well as obviously the mental health arm, DPT, provide vacancy numbers to our team, and eventually those numbers are confirmed to myself and Jack, so we know how many people each hospital are keen to take on and deploy sort of on a monthly basis. We then obviously need to promote the opportunities that we have on offer. So our team reaches out to the global market for overseas nurses. So we are very aware that we're operating in a competitive global marketplace for your fabulous skills. Your skills are in demand, and we are very aware of this. How do we reach out? Well, we use a mix of approaches. So that could be agencies, that could be specialist websites, such as we use one called Endorse, which is worth perhaps you checking out or recommending to friends if you have other nursing colleagues who would like to come and work also in Devon. GMC, that's another website which is which we use and which we would recommend. And then we're also obviously across social media, and we welcome referrals as well. So that's how we reach out to our lovely overseas nurses, as I say, in a competitive marketplace. Interview and first conditional offer. So many of you will have been through the interview process and will have therefore received your first conditional offer, which means that you have been successful at the interview stage. So congratulations, because the interviews are done in a nursing sort of clinical way. And so, yes, we say congratulations to you for getting through the interview and receiving the first conditional offer. Now, I often have the question that the first conditional offer you receive is done on headed paper that says Torbay and South Devon in the corner. The reason for that is it's just the Torbay and South Devon is acting as a sort of a host organisation for all of the recruitment that we do right across Devon. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to work at Torbay and South Devon. You may well, if that's one of your preference locations. However, you will receive a second offer from the actual hospital that you're going to be deployed to. So don't worry if you receive an offer, your initial offer from Torbay in South Devon, and then later we say to you, oh yes, great, you've secured a role at Exeter or Plymouth or North Devon or within the mental health trust. So just to sort of help clarify that, because I do have some questions on that, so nothing to worry about. We then receive information about the job offers that we're able to provide to you from the individual hospitals. So as soon as you've come through the interview process and received the initial conditional offer, can't speak, Jack and I are then working with the individual hospitals to match your skills, your specialisms, your preferences, etc., to the roles that they have available. So there's a big piece of work that then goes on behind the scenes in terms of matching you to the right location, and also bearing in mind your skill set, etc., that we know you will bring to the trusts. So then the interesting bit, the COS visa and deployment. So once we have identified the actual hospital that you will be working in, and we have issued your second offer letter, as it were, as soon as you accept that, obviously this is all done online, no letters involved, so you know that it's a faster process. I'm sure you're aware of that. The hospitals are then able to issue you your certificates of sponsorship. Now, so you will have received and accepted, returned your second hospital offer letter to us. In the meantime, we will be checking and double checking and approving all of the documentation that I know you're working so hard to submit to us in a timely fashion. Without the documentation being in place, then obviously the trust is not able to issue your certificate of sponsorship. But once we have all the documentation, you've accepted your second offer, then the hospital is able to issue your COS via us. And then we request that you get online and complete your visa application. Once you get to the point of your application where payment is required, we ask that you save and log out of your visa application. That will then generate an email link that will be emailed to your personal email address. Please then go back into your application, send us your link plus the password that you've set up, so that then we can get the hospital to pay for your visa application. Okay, and we do move very quickly through those steps and processes. It takes a couple of days for us to get all that sorted for you. As soon as your visa has been paid, we ask that you go and book your visa biometrics appointment. We have heard that there are potentially some delays, as with everything sort of due to COVID. So it's really important that as soon as you've received notification of your visa application being paid for, that you please go and book your visa biometrics appointment as soon as you can. Once you've attended, and let us know what that date is as well, just so we can support if there are any delays. Once you've attended your visa biometrics appointment, then obviously everything is out of your and our hands, and we are then waiting for the visa to be issued. Currently, we are advising that this process, so from the issuance of your COS by the hospital to your visa being received, and you having the stamp in your passport, that can take a good 8 weeks. So just to manage expectations and let you know that that's the way it works. That's our experience. That's how long it's taking currently to work through that process. So yeah, flights. Once your visa has been received, then there are teams within each individual hospital, depending on where you're going to work, whose dedicated role it is to then get in touch with you and work with you to book your flight to the UK. How exciting. That's the good bit. So by this point, you will then be liaising and speaking directly to the hospital's recruitment team, obviously supported at any stage by myself, by Jack, by Carly. We're always there to support you through any aspects of the process, but you will be speaking directly to the hospitals. And yes, I've just mentioned about the 8-week time frame again, but yeah, so that's the exciting bit. Book the flight and then you're on your way. So I get very excited. Okay, so I hope that's helped clear up some questions, but we do welcome questions at the end in the chat box, as Tracy said. So yeah, just a little bit about us, I suppose. Really, we use the hashtag nursing in Devon across our social media. We are obviously trying to build a social media brand, attracting nurses from overseas nurses to apply to work with us here in beautiful Devon. Here are so we do have a presence on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and LinkedIn. I have put the addresses there for you should you want to check those out. We would encourage you to do so. Please like, share and all that good stuff to help us grow our social media presence. And don't forget, recommend us to your to any friends and colleagues who are also interested in coming and working for us and with us in Devon. That's great. Yeah, and this is just a slide to sort of illustrate how we reach out. Again, this is, as you can see, examples across LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. As you can see here, there we are, Jack promoting mental health nursing. Obviously, that's a specialist area that Jack has been tasked with recruiting for. It's very exciting. But then we also have the broader welcome to Devon NHS. Our webinars, etc., have been uploaded to YouTube, which is wonderful. I'm a subscriber, so and then our presence on Facebook and Twitter. So yeah, we please do join, do like, do share. We'd be very grateful and we welcome you. And last but by no means least, we just want to share with you, this is Christian de Mayuga. He is our first nurse that we have welcomed to Devon, to the UK, obviously Devon. He is currently in Exeter in quarantine, but I just had to share with you that you know, we welcome Christian wholeheartedly to Devon, and I cannot wait to see how he develops his career within the NHS. It feels quite emotional, but anyway, welcome to Christian. And then finally, last but by no means least, any questions. So please feel free to ask any questions about, you know, elements of the recruitment process, COS, visa, all of that kind of good stuff. Feel free to ask using the text box in the chat. We do look forward to hearing from you, and we thank you, you know, for staying with us, for patience, for your interest in working for the NHS Devon, and we love hearing from you. We thoroughly enjoy dealing with you, so you know, honestly, we can't thank you enough.
Thanks very much, Victoria. That's great. Thank you. So please, as Victoria said, please do ask any questions. Do type them in the chat box. And I'm now going to hand over to Jesca and Lucia to talk about their amazing work that they're doing within ZiMNA. So over to both of you. Thank you.
Jesca, I've tried to share the document. Am I sharing? Oh, Jessica's network is poor. I think I'm going to speak because Jesca is supposed to start, but she's got poor network. Hello, everyone. My name is Lucia Vambe. I am a Zimbabwean nurse working for NHS in UK. I work for the trust called Essex Partnership Trust, but I'm here because I'm the deputy chair for ZiMNA UK, Jesca being the chair for ZiMNA UK, which is a Zimbabwean Nurses Association in UK. I'm trying to share the document, my presentation, just forgive me, I'm trying my best. I think I'm failing. I'm going to send it to someone to help me. If I can forward it to Tracy.
Please do, Lucia. Yes, yeah. Or Jack, you might need to just step in here in terms of being able to share the presentation. Or wonder if I can do that my end. Can I?
Yeah, either end will work.
Okay.
Right. Okay, I've sent it. I don't know. I've sent it to
Okay, I will. It should come through in a moment.
Yeah.
Is that by email?
Anyway, forgive me for doing that.
That's okay. It will be on its way very shortly, I'm sure.
Well,
the joys of technology, isn't it? Goodness me, we're in a totally different world now, aren't we? Of sharing screens and Zoom and Skype and Microsoft Teams.
While we are waiting, I think I may share my this story behind my history. Really, I came to UK nearly 29 years ago. I wasn't a nurse when I came to UK, but I obtained my nursing profession here in UK. I've been working for the trust where I am now for 22 years, and I have been a staff nurse, and also I've been lucky that I've managed to climb the ladder. I'm now a matron for vaccination program. I've seen so many changes in the history of nursing for the time I was here, but just talking as a Zimbabwean, the experience of changes, for example, of weather, that has really been a really challenge for me when we came with my family. It's something that everyone really feels for the first time when you come here. Is the weather that is so different, but there's so many things that you can learn from each other. I had a few people who told me where I could get my African food as well. That's something that I was missing when I came to UK, and I quickly learn how to adjust as well to the English food, because believe me, the taste buds are different. when you come for the first time, even the taste of the bread, you could tell it's so different. But these are the things that you learn to live with. So yeah, those, just sharing a bit of my personal life. Have you received the PowerPoint, Laura or Tracy?
I haven't, but we can see Laura's got it on the screen now, Lucia.
Right.
So, yep, so I think we can see that. Fabulous.
Oh, lovely. Thank you, thank you. So taking from there now, Zimbabwe Midwives and Nursing Association was formed this year. It's a very young organization which is here to support nurses who are coming from Zimbabwe for the first time and those who are already here in UK. And move on to the second slide, please. Laura, next slide, please. Thank you. Who are we? We are a group of Zimbabwean health professionals who are passionate about supporting and helping others, fellow Zimbabweans. When I said we are a group of passionate Zimbabweans, we have people who are in the working for the NHS England, who are also nurses from Zimbabwe, who are part of this association. We also have one of our professors, a Zimbabwe professor, who is working in one of the organizations in UK, Leeds. He is advising us. So we have managed to gather fellow Zimbabweans who have come from Zimbabweans who are working as nurses or other management roles, but it's in health, NHS health, and put our thoughts together and our experience, and that's what we are trying to share with other fellow Zimbabweans and support each other. We are lead the nursing profession into the spotlight where they are valued and essential part of health system. That's what we are aiming for. We are aiming to promote the professional and educational advancement of nurses as well as their economy and general welfare. We are here to build and maintain relationship with other allied professionals. We have so many Zimbabweans who are in UK. Other people work as social workers. There are other people work they do other jobs which are different, or other professionals which are different from nursing. We aim to work with those people because we know that as a network, you can enrich yourself in your profession by understanding what other roles are in UK and also as a Zimbabwean. So I'm trying to find, I can't find my slides. I'm really sorry. I'm trying my best to follow the front. Our approach, we will develop tailored support by segmenting our approach by career stages. We try our best to provide evidence-based and harness available data to create a simple version of truth of Zimbabwean nurses, midwives, and healthcare support workers in diaspora. Moving on to the next one, please, sorry. I really want to talk about the frameworks. This is the principle of our association. We have 3 pillars that we focus on: pastoral care, supporting new starters program, and helping people with mental health and emotional well-being. We also want to support people about when they arrive in UK, particularly informing them about how to go about in the country, where you can get your African food if you like, where other networks are, and where the community is, Zimbabwean communities in your area. Because one thing we try to avoid is isolation. Isolation is something that can impact on your practice or on a settlement, because you feel alone and you won't know much, and it can take long to adjust or to settle in the country. So we are trying to combat that by saying we are here to support you. We will also announce social events that are happening in the communities near you or maybe around the country. The health and well-being, one of the pillars we do is to ensure that you are living well program that are provided as well around the country and also in your local area if we can. We also endeavor to support bereavement support. We know our culture adaptation can be difficult coming to UK, but we understand the cultural aspect of bereavement of Zimbabwe. So this is what we are trying to say. We will be supporting you if you if you need that support. We also professional support. We have other people who can provide coaching, career coaching and professional development, peer support, mentoring, professional support. All this is package that we can provide in our association. Next, please. The next slide, please. Yeah. So this is what we are trying to achieve. What, in a nutshell, pastoral support for nurses, advocacy, informing people about the social events that are taking place, promoting families coming together. This could be around the events, social events that we may plan or we may signpost you to that are happening in your area, employment support and career development. Thank you. I think that I will end there unless Jessica wanted to come. Jessica, if you are available now. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Hello. Oh, hello. Yeah, you. Thank you very much, Lucia. You can take the slides down. We've got another one of our trustees on who's just joined us, and I would like to introduce him. But
Oh, can't hear you now, Jesca.
Jessica, sorry.
Oh, that's
don't
better.
worry. I would. Oh, is it?
We can hear you now.
Wonderful. So I was just saying,
No, Jessica, we can't hear you. I think it's Jabu. Jabu, if you are there, if you can take over, please.
I think you're still on mute, Jesca.
Yeah, I think he's not available.
My network is extremely poor where we are, but we have Jabu. Yeah, he's there now. He will just introduce himself.
Oh, great, thank you.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
We can hear you and see you, Jabu.
Good morning, everyone. This is rather tricky because I can't see myself.
Okay, we can hear. Did you want to introduce yourself? Yep, you're live.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Jabu Chikore, and I'm one of the trustees for ZiMNA UK.
Great to meet you, Jabu. Yes, welcome to the weekly webinar. We have a weekly webinar for our international nurses overseas, and we're delighted to have ZiMNA with us today to talking to the nurses around what ZiMNA actually does as an organisation and the support that can be offered to our nurses. It's strange, isn't it, talking on a live webinar, because we can see ourselves, but we can't see the nurses that we're talking to. But we know we have nurses that are dialed in at the moment all around the world. So yeah, thank you. Jesca, did you want to say any more around ZiMNA?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I just really want to say, it's a great, ZiMNA is here to support anybody who joins, who comes to work in the UK, and you can get in touch with us. We have got a WhatsApp group. I will send the details to your team so we can actually share with everybody. And just to say, you are among other Zimbabweans, and don't feel like you have to struggle on your own. We are there to signpost where you can buy the food that you need, which is really important, because I remember when I came into this country, it was winter time, it was really cold, snow was up to my knees, and I just struggled, but I'm still here and I still enjoy what I do. So it's about really getting the balance of work-life balance, and that's what why we formed the ZiMNA, so you can actually enjoy working as well as enjoy your family, and ensuring that you don't suffer in silence. There is a lot of career progression. We have got mentorship that is available and coaching that is available. And really and truly, you've got fellowship that people can join in, or, and areas where you can go and meet up with other Zimbabweans within each area. So now we know that there's Zimbabweans coming to Devon. We will endeavor to look for what areas Zimbabweans meet and also put that on our website so that people will be able to link up there easily. Thank you very much for inviting us to speak today.
Thank you very much, Jesca. I mean, it's really, really helpful to know, and it's amazing the support from the different nursing associations that are available, to support our nurses, because, like you say, it must feel so, well, people do feel isolated, don't they, when they first come into a completely new country, leaving families and loved ones behind. For many, it's the first time of getting on a plane, even, or even leaving, their home countries, and to know that that support is available, it is hugely appreciated. And just even down to local food, and we try and do our best from the UK perspective to support our nurses coming in and to make sure that they're welcomed, and that pastoral support is there. But it's nothing like, obviously, what's the support that yourself, from that cultural perspective, can offer. We try our best, but obviously it's much better from the nursing associations for the different, cultures around the world. And, I think that's fantastic in terms of fellowship opportunities and, the education opportunities that are available. And, I know we do have a number of nurses. I think we have cohorts of nurses arriving in August and September. And I think it would be useful for Victoria and Jack to perhaps see how many and who of those nurses are from Zimbabwe, that perhaps we can connect you with those nurses before they arrive here in the UK, just so that they've got that friendly face, and just so you can make those connections for when they do arrive. You'd be able to offer any support or help that they need.
Definitely, that would be really great. And I guess we will also make contact with your team to find out if you've already got Zimbabweans working within your area, because that really is helpful as well, as a buddy system, that they just can, work with somebody who's already there, who knows the hospital. And that tends to go a long way when you've got a buddy system, and then they can, we have a liaison that way. So we'll be really grateful to know which Zimbabweans you have working for your team.
That would be great, Jesca. Yeah, and I'll make sure that we'll find out from the hospitals. We must have a number of nurses from Zimbabwe already here, and like you say, that would be great. And I think it is. I know just from my experience with the nurses from the Philippines, we started our international recruitment in 2014 now, and it was initially European, and then we our first sort of non-European was with Philippine nurses. And it's incredible how that community, sort of builds in terms of, they all cook for each other now, and they'll all be around for welcome meetings. And it's great because, again, for Zimbabwean nurses, it's the same, same opportunity there, isn't it, in terms of welcoming and building that community and, cooking food together. And we'll do the same for BINA, the British Indian Nurses Association, and we're hoping we can invite the Nigerian Nurses Association soon as well. And the event which I mentioned yesterday, we're really keen to hold a virtual event to bring all of the nursing associations together. And it'd be even better if we could all meet. It would be amazing if we could, because we could share all of that wonderful food from around the world, and have the different flags, and just make it a really wonderful celebration event of global nursing. It's a real passion of mine to really make a difference to nurses around the world. So there's a two-way learning, isn't there, around, you know, we need support from our international nurses and that wonderful skills and compassion and caring elements which they bring for our patients and staff here in the NHS. But also there's a lot that we can learn from the wonderful nurses overseas. It's two-way that I see that. And even only yesterday, there was the International Council of Nurses were you know, that it was on social media around the report from the World Health Assembly and the importance of investing in nurses and leadership and empowerment and educational partnerships, which was, you know, it just resonated with our conversation yesterday, Jesca and Lucia, of how, you know, it'd be wonderful to be able to partner together and look at how we can work with nurses and just share that best practice and knowledge. You know, I know it's virtual at the moment, but when we can sort of go overseas, you know, how we can look at exchange programs and different opportunities. So such an exciting time for us, I think. You know, certainly with us just starting, you know, our Devon collaborative, and, you know, and I think you're newly formed yourselves, aren't you, at ZiMNA? It was March, wasn't it, this year, the launch. So I think it is just a perfect time. So, you know, we're really grateful to have you on the call today. Thank you. So is there any question? Oh, sorry, Jesca, please do. Oh, just put your microphone, just.
Yeah, no question from me at all. I don't know if Jabu, you've got any question?
No, thank you. I was just commenting. So when I joined this particular meeting, I had 2 meetings running, so hence I had an echo. So it was all muddled up. But no, thank you for having me. Thank you very much for having me. And really, would like to thank you for offering us this opportunity and emphasize the need for us to, in building the community, having us know who's already in your particular area, so that we can actually cultivate relationships with them and actually get them prepared to meet and greet any international nurses that you have coming down. So thank you so much.
That's great, Jabu. Thank you very much. Yes, we'll certainly you know, pass that information out to the 6 trusts across Devon. You know, certainly if they can pull together contact details and names, you know, we can make sure that actually we put them in contact with yourselves, and like you say, that those arrangements can be, you know, support and buddying and welcoming, you know, the nurses that are due to arrive over the next few months with us. Thank you for that. Very, very much appreciated. So I don't see any question. They're all quiet this morning, and I know we're a little bit lower on our attendees, but it's sort of the holidays, isn't it? And often technology, you know, sort of is a bit of a problem. I know the last few days there's certainly been some problem with our technology, you know, but we upload our webinars and the information that you've shared, Jesca and Lucia, Jabu, if you're happy, that will be on our YouTube channel. Are you happy for that? We posted on YouTube, and they can see your slides there. So nurses that have a look will see ZiMNA. Brilliant. That's great. Thank you. So any questions from anybody else before we?
Tracy, I've got
yes.
one. Since you say you run weekly meetings, if we want to share with Zimbabweans who are thinking of joining, how do we send that out?
So, Jack, you're the webinar live link guru. How can we? Yes, yeah, go on.
So the links will be shared on our social media, usually a sort of a day or 2 beforehand. So if they go onto our Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, the link will be posted on there that they can click on 10 o'clock on a Thursday morning. Yeah,
it's every Thursday, Jesca. So it's just that link there will go to anybody, Jack. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, fabulous. Or what we could do also, Jesca, is we could actually send that out to yourselves as well. I mean, I'm happy to do that, just so you know, if you know, a day or so beforehand, and then you can forward to your friends and colleagues, because they'd be very, very welcome to join. We have different we just talk about opportunities of coming into the UK, what it's like to work here. It's inviting the nursing associations. We have a bit of fun with cookery classes, and it's been UK cookery at the moment, but what we'd really like is some of our overseas nurses to be able to do some of that, and they video it just to showcase their wonderful food. We've had nurses from around the world talk, you know, in terms of, you know, how their experience has been coming to work in Devon and in the NHS. We've had the NMC to talk around accountability and CBT and OSCE preparation. And, you know, Carly, who's our transition lead, she's on leave this week and next week. But again, there's OSCE preparation and training. So there's lots of things that we do every week, just to try and help relax the nurses, but also to keep them interested in coming to work for us. This is what we do, this is who we are, and this is what we're about. But please, I mean, we'd be, you know, thrilled if you can, you know, send out to all your colleges and, you know, colleagues and friends and nurses across back home would be fabulous. And we have some great videos in terms of, you know, the locations where we are. So if you're not familiar with our hospitals and the locations, there are some wonderful, you know, videos actually on our social media in terms of the beautiful beaches. There's the coastline here in, you know, in Torbay and North Devon, and then we've got the city hospitals of Plymouth and Exeter as well. But there are some really good videos on there around coming to work in Devon. So happy for you to share all of that. That would be great. Thank you. Thank you ever so much. Honestly, it's wonderful to see you again. It really is. I'm really excited about all of this. I am. It's great. All right. Well, we are a few minutes early, but thank you very much, everybody. And I hope you have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world. And we will look forward to seeing you next week on the webinar. Please do, you know, share our social media sites with all of your friends, colleagues. We want to, you know, we're here to welcome, you know, nurses from all over the world. So please do share all of the opportunities that are available. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you and take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.